Anyway, I want to hear about Joe's beef with a clown, which is the most rock and roll thing that's happened today.
Joe Wilkinson is back with us. A brand new single out next week. Yeah. So tell us about your altercation with a clown. You were both doing gigs at the same time. What happened there?
Yeah, it's the weirdest start to a show I've ever had. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, so last couple of weeks back, it was really lovely actually. I got asked to come back into my old school and play a gig for the 35th anniversary of the school. So it's quite nostalgic to meet all the teachers and stuff.
And I saw Joe, I was like, that's Joe.
Yeah, so
really
there.
Like,
yeah. And halfway through my set, I got interrupted by an angry clown. He said,
you've been double booked.
Yeah, he said, what are you doing? Like, literally, I was mid-song, so mid-strum.
You just strolled up to
what
the
you
stage.
up to?
Please tell me you came on a little
I wish he'd come on a tricycle, that would have made it better.
Water out of his bow tie.
And he said, well, what are you doing? I've got a show. I said, well, I'm playing a show. And he said, well, my music's louder than yours, so...
And then he went off to his clown music.
Did you not just turn the PA up?
Well, I could have done, but... You know what?
You're a lover, not a fighter, aren't you, Joe?
That happened at a gig once. We with my old radio station. We were at this gig, and the people from the Met office got very upset because we were so loud, and they were right across the green. And, one of the I can't remember who it was now. The one with the ginger hair. Anyway, I can't remember her name. She came over and she's most upset. Like, we can't hear ourselves think over here. I'm like, well, we're doing a radio show. Sorry, what are you doing?
Don't mess with them out. They can control the weather.
I know.
You'll be in trouble.
Yeah, but it does happen. You do get people upset.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how it works at Glastonbury because there's all sorts of stuff going off at the same time, isn't it?
I've
You just turn it up. I mean, I don't know.
I played a festival in Portsmouth once, and they put the acoustic stage right next to the DJ tent.
Oh,
so
wow.
you can imagine you've got poor people like me trying to, and in the background.
The
got
remix.
No chance. Yeah.
That was a good little link into where you've been and what you've been doing.
Sure.
You have been festivaling, haven't you? So we've got mad flies in here.
That's all right. I just got back from London, so I did a showcase for a company called Breaking Sound, and it's what they do really. They scout around for people that are coming through, and then they're in cities all over the world. And they heard Let Me Know on the BBC last time, and they asked me to come over and do a show. And yeah, it was lovely. Loads of people came that people from Instagram that I hadn't met before, and people from here that come to watch my show flew over to London to see it. So it was really special.
So it was a festival of sort of like up and coming,
Yeah, it wasn't really a festival. It was in a music venue, but they do regularly. So they're regularly putting on showcases all over. Like they're all over America, they're in Australia, they're all over Europe, and they're in London. So hopefully it will lead to further stuff.
Might get the Australia gig next time.
I would love that. I've got a guy. I think he actually emailed a question in last time. His name's Alex, and he was saying that he was thinking of coming over from Australia for the gig. And I said no.
Well, this time the messages have come from Bulgaria and from Italy. We'll get to those a little bit later on. But
because we were talking about how people are finding new music last time you were in, and we mentioned Jack and Daisy said the similar. It's all over socials now and YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's amazing how people are turning up at gigs saying, "I saw you on Instagram."
Yeah,
it's quite crazy to think that these little things, hold up phone.
It's amazing because you meet so many new people and they're from all over the place, and you never know when someone's going to spring up, and it's really it's great to be able to reach new people all the time and make new friends, and I feel like they're buying into it,
There's a lot of negative aspects, I think.
To social media?
Yeah, but then...
I'm not kidding.
But then there are some really lovely positives, you know, and sort of industries do change for the better because of it. You know, especially the music industry. Well,
it's, anyone can put out a record now, so...
Not sure that's a good
Do you feel... Well, that's not always great. Do you feel it gives you a bit more control over things?
Well, right now, I'm independent. If this has been 30 years ago, then you're literally beholden to the label because the label holds the purse strings. The label has the release schedule. Nowadays anyone can just go to a studio and put out a song and try to market it themselves. So in a way it's easier, but of course in another way it's far more saturated with new music. There's something like ridiculous, I think it's like 20,000 new songs on Spotify every day.
Wow.
So, and most of them, over half of them, never get a single play. I was going to
say, half of them are rubbish.
But most of them never get even played once.
But it harks back, I don't know if you were old enough to know that MySpace was where it kind of started for me with the Arctic Monkeys, and they had a MySpace account, and that kind of was the YouTube of its day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You know, and that was the beginnings, I think, of this sort of channel and this direction that musicians could take.
Yeah, I mean, I see it as like for example, Instagram for me is like a central hub where I can sort of connect everything up and sort of I post every day to try and keep it going, and you never know which little video, which little clip it is that someone's going to attach.
Pre-COVID, you were signed to a label. So did they do all of that before?
No, that was part of the problem.
Really?
So that in theory that the label. Well, actually, it's sort of changed now. The way the industry is now is, people think, oh, I want to get a record deal and I'll get all this money and stuff, but basically what they give you is a loan.
You're still paying for it.
Yeah, and you're not going to see any money back until you've paid that back. And more so these days, I hear about deals where it's not like, okay, well, here's our marketing team. This person's going to be in charge of this. This person's going to be in charge. It's literally, here's 20,000. Come back when you've got 5 songs, and we'll see. So you go off and you use the money as you see fit. And sort of build the product. Well, it is your money.
What you eventually
exactly. Yeah.
So I think back to the social media thing is really interesting because some artists are in control completely of their social media, and I'm very aware of Liam Gallagher being one. You know it's him.
Yeah.
Littered with bad punctuation and
bad language.
Bad language.
Yeah.
But it's almost a real. I think this is the reason, and I'll put it out there. A prime example of this is Liam and Noel. I don't think Noel does his own social media. Liam does, and I think Liam's got that connection still. He's got the connection with the audience like us that grew up with him.
But he's got the personality to do it as well, whereas Noel's not quite as much out there, is he?
But I think as well he's got that connection with a younger audience. They're all over TikTok and Instagram, and they love him. He's funny. He's a character. He's one of the
He's 50.
I know, but he's still very relevant.
He's making right.
And it's great. I think it's great for artists that they can still have that connection and speak to fans. And I remember him asking him, "What do you want to hear? What do you want to hear when I play? Was it not Nebworth? Yeah, he did Nebworth, didn't he? What do you want to hear on the set list?
That is so important.
And they're going, back in anger, don't play that yet.
Yeah.
And how would artists have done that?
Yeah, it's that connection to
it was through fan clubs before, wasn't it? And record label, that was really all there was. I think Slade did quite a bit of that but via their record company with fan clubs and smash hits and stuff like that. They were quite well known for connecting with their audience, especially Dave Hill. Anyway, we better not go any further. Meanwhile, Joe's going to do some songs for us today. Absolutely. I don't know what you want to start with.
That's a good question. Let's start with the last single that you so generously played.
Because we played that, but we've never actually done this live in the studio.
Yeah, that's right. So this one's called Let Me Know, and thanks a lot for playing it. It was the last one that came out, and the new one's out on the 7th, so I'll play that one for you a little bit later as well. This one is, Let Me Know. You didn't see me when I was invisible. I was there but no one cared until change made me fictional. You didn't hear me calling for a miracle, shouting my lungs breathless, made sculptures of my syllables. And am I good enough now? When will you decide this is bigger than you? Your foolish pride I'm taking. There's room in the back if you're coming. Jump in, there's bumps on the track. And when you come to your senses, let me know. I won't follow in the dark. There's a well-lit road and you're a bomb ticking down, ready to go. So when you come to your senses, let me know. Let me know. Now you hear me, close enough to see and to touch. Now you care, you stop and staring too much, can't get enough. Now you tasted me, sweet and bitter on your lips, an unpredictable flavor that isn't a savor, got wrapped up in our kiss. Am I good enough now? When will you decide this is bigger than you? Your foolish pride I'm taking. There's room in the back if you're coming. Jump in, there's bumps on the track. And when you come to your senses. Let me know, I won't follow in the dark. There's a well-lit road and you're a born ticking down, ready to go. So when you come to your senses, let me know, come to your senses. Come to your senses. Come to your senses. Let me know.
Woo. Joe Wilkinson live in the studio, the last or current single still, actually. Let me know. Loved that. How much response did you get from it, and what sort of response did you get?
Really good, yeah. So it's obviously a work in progress. Every time you put one out, it sort of balloons it out a little bit further and stuff. So
I remember you saying you felt that this was probably one of the best things you'd ever done, and I had to agree because I loved it. Absolutely loved it. On hearing.
No, I really appreciate the amount of play you get it. But yeah, it's done pretty well. Lots of nice blogs and playlists, and got on the BBC. Got me this gig in London. So it's sort of like, you know, I'm not expecting one song to suddenly. Well, it will eventually, but you never know when it's going to be. So my attitude is just keep going, keep releasing.
There's some big electric guitar on that. We're going to see more of that. Is that guitar just mic'd up?
It's this guitar with a sort of filter on it.
It's incredible. Well, great sound. I mean, it was almost that Dire Straits sound that I mentioned.
Yeah, it's really cool that you picked that up. I like that. I like Dire Straits, so that was a lovely compliment. And Mark Knopfler also plays weird with his stuff.
Yes, he does.
yeah, it's cool that you picked that up. So it's thank you for playing it, and it was a really fun one. It was sort of nice after Water to Wine, which was more sort of melodic and stripped back. It was nice to do something with a bit of punch to it. And this next one's sort of somewhere in between the two. There is that electric guitar, there is a nice drum.
Looking forward to hearing that. So we're going to go to a break. What are you going to play for us after the break?
I might do the new one for you, maybe.
Joe Wilkinson in the studio, live on the Friday Feeling.
So this is my new single. This one's called Downpour, and it's out next Friday. When you're in a hurry and all your lights turn from green to red, don't you worry, babe, my hand's behind your head. Find it funny how you found me in the dark. You came running up to fill my hose with sparks. From root to flower, from seed to sap, wrap your arms around me, don't hold back. In the downpour, I wanna be your umbrella. When the sun shines, I'll blow a breeze to make you better. The snow don't feel so cold, the wind it barely blows when you're near. I grow. Oh, butterflies in tummies. I thought that they had all lost their wings. I start running now, the bites have lost their sting. We can ride the wave, just like you said. Wrap your arms around me like a needle to a thread. In the downpour, I wanna be your umbrella. When the sun shines, I'll blow a breeze to make you better. The snow don't feel so cold, the wind it barely blows when you're near. I grow. Oh, I grow. In the downpour, I wanna be your umbrella. When the sun shines, I'll blow a breeze and make you better. The snow don't feel so cold. The wind it barely blows when you're here. I grow.
Joe Wilkinson in the studio, brand new single, and that is out next Friday, and we can let you know it will be Track of the Bay.
Ooh, exciting.
On Bay Radio next week. And some messages that have come in for you, Joe. Greetings from Varna in Bulgaria. I'm a fan of your upcoming guest, Joe Wilkinson. Want to submit a question for your interview with him on Friday. And it goes as follows. You're collaborating with the same amazing people from last time. What are the lessons learned from working together on the previous single, Let Me Know? And what was new working on Downpour?
Oh, what a great question. If it's Bulgaria, I'm going to guess that's Miroslav.
It is Miroslav, yes.
He's a really, really top bloke, Miroslav.
Hey, Miroslav.
Great question. Yeah. Thanks for sending it in, mate. And thanks for all the support. Like, he's there every day on the comments.
He's a super fan.
I feel like he knows my material better than I do sometimes. He's like, he already knows the single that's coming out.
Do you ever watch Flight of the Conchords? Yeah. Is he that kind of super fan?
Not that bad. No, he's a lovely bloke. I really appreciate it. He's not like that crazy Mel. I know exactly who you mean. But yeah, to answer his question, so I'm working with some people that are in the corner over there. You cannot see them. You can
give them a shout. Name them.
There's Julie and Ilan over there. Ilan's behind the camera, and Julie is responsible for the artwork for the singles. So we're friends, and we come up with an idea that links to the lyrics. Each one has sort of a hidden meaning, so it's linked directly to the lyrics. So that's really nice. And I think it's so important to have good people around you. I would include you guys in that. Like, you always have me in, and I feel like you're an extension of the team, you know, because you're always helping me. And
remember that when you're headlining Glastonbury.
You know, it's so important because, you know, my name's on the song, and I wrote the song, but that's not the be all and end all of it. You need other people there that have got your back, that believe in you, that are there when you're down, that are there when you're up, and also that keep you grounded, because the further forward you get with this, there's people that come out of the woodwork that perhaps don't have your best interests at heart, or perhaps want to sort of jump on the coattails and stuff. And I think it's so important to have a foundation of people that will keep you grounded.
And you do have quite a big following around the world. It's great.
It's growing all the time, which is lovely. And yeah, it's strange. It's lovely.
I was thinking when we were talking just before the break, it's almost like you're making music for you now, you know.
Definitely.
And my partner's a musician. He said, you know, if I'm getting songs out there and people are listening to them on Spotify, I don't care how many people are listening to him. I just want the people that are listening to him to be loyal and really enjoy it, you know. And I think it's a different sort of feeling with artists now, and especially for this sort of Instagram channel and the socials, in the fact that you're actually finding people that, you know, are on your sort of level, on your feeling your vibe. You know, they've found you for a reason. You know, they've not been pushed into buying your records by a record company.
Yeah.
And it's not been played to them on a radio station because we've had to play it on a radio station.
And we want to, not because we have to.
Yeah, but usually it's the other way around, isn't it? You know, radio stations are given music to push, and the general public consume it.
Yeah.
You know, whereas this is it's back to front, really. People are finding you and buying into you and going, I really like this guy.
That's nice.
You know?
I think you just hit the nail on the head with the last sentence. Like, we like that guy. It's not necessarily about just one song or one piece of content. It's about, I feel like people like to check in every day and see, okay, what's he doing? And
I know you did say that you like to do something every day. You like to put something out there.
For me, that it's my job. So if I'm not at the minimum, I need to put out some content every day. I think that's important.
I've got a message here from Laura from Italy saying, I manage a blog and an Instagram page about international indie music. I'm a fan of Joe Wilkinson. I'd like to send a question to him. If you could ask him, which 3 adjectives would you pick to describe yourself?
Ooh, that's tricky.
She says, thank you so much. Can't wait to tune in for the show. Can't wait for the answers.
Bless her.
We didn't prep you with these before either, did we, Joe?
It's all right. So she's got a wonderful blog. I can't say her name because I can't roll the R, but it's actually Laura. She's from Italy, and she's got an Instagram page called Laura Meets Musicians. So she's always plugging, you know, she finds
Check it out.
She likes.
Check it out, listeners.
Yeah, go and give her a follow. She's very genuine. She does it from the heart. She doesn't do it for the money. She does it for the love of the music. And that is a very difficult question. I would say Maybe relentless. Like, I never stop in terms of, it's a blessing and a curse because I'm always looking for the next thing and the next song and the next gig and the next. So, but I don't that often take stock of, well, that's a good achievement, or that's cool. I'm always on to the next thing. So in a way, it's good because it keeps the forward momentum.
Yeah.
But I do need to sort of teach myself, okay, slow down a bit sometimes.
Live in the moment, Joe.
Yeah, and enjoy this, and don't think about what you can do next week. But that's just my nature because I want to get better and I want to improve. So I'd say that's one of them. I would hopefully like to say humble. I don't want to ever. Definitely. I don't ever want to come across as arrogant. There's a fine line for me between confident. I have a lot of faith in my ability, and I think that what I do is valuable to people and stuff. But I would never want to cross that line into arrogance and looking down.
Would you say that previously you've had a little bit of a difficulty with opening up and pushing yourself?
Absolutely. I used to be so shy and so introverted, even when we first met a year ago.
Yeah.
So a lot's happened in that year, but that's
and you certainly have worked on that. We've noticed a big difference.
Yeah, and I mean it's so important. And the thing is, if you only work on the things you're already quite good at, like playing guitar, for example, then that's not going to. You need to work on your flaws and try and improve those. That's so important because then again you're always improving and getting better. So I'm on 2, right? I've got to find one more adjective. Why don't you give us
relentless and humble were the ones that we had.
Maybe thoughtful in terms of like
good one.
my
lyric
lyrics.
writing.
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
So I like to obviously, for me, a song should tell a story or should have a meaning behind it. It's not just writing a song for the sake of writing a song. Every piece that I put out, I want it to have some meaning and some influence on, and because I think people relate to that more if it's a song with soul, with sort of a weight to it, then people will pick up on that.
It's connecting again, I suppose, and it's connecting with the artist and it's connecting with the story you're telling and identifying with what they're saying. Yeah.
So hopefully those will suffice.
They're good. You've
great
passed
questions
the test.
as well
Yeah.
from Miroslav and from Laura. Thank you for those and helping us out with our questions today.
Yeah.
Brilliant. We've got Track of the Bay here in its usual place after the break. Alfie Templeman today, and we'll hear more from Joe shortly. Joe Wilkinson's in the studio with us. I've just heard that he's going to play the next single for us as well. Not the one that's just coming out next week. We're going to get the one that's going to come out before the end of the year as well. We feel extremely privileged here, which led us to talk about songs and how is it a process, as some people have called it, like giving birth?
It can be. I mean, I think the birthing is really when it's first written. That's like the birthing process for me, and then the producing it is like the child
terrible
grow
twos,
up, grow up a bit, and then when it's ready for college is when it goes
adolescence.
We were just talking about songs and people covering songs. Question for you now from Rosie Frost of Javier.
Okay.
Who would you like to cover your song? Which song and who would you like to cover it? If you were given a choice, anyone in the world, dead or alive?
Dead or alive, that makes it even more complicated.
That really does make it a lot harder.
I know.
Toughie.
Taking no prisoners today.
I suppose if it's a cover, then it's quite heavily about the voice, isn't it, really? Because it's already written.
Or maybe you'd like to hear someone do it in a certain way, in their style.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm a real fan of a band called Alt J. Do you know Alt J?
Yes, yeah.
I'd love to hear them do something, because it would be so different. For me, when you do a cover, there's no point of doing it note for note the same.
No.
So I think a band like Alt J,
make it your own.
They would do something weird, and I like that,
Good answer.
Yeah.
Alt J. Which song?
Maybe the last one, Let Me Know. I think that was...
I think Mark Knopfler would do a great job.
Oh, right.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah, well, to take Mark Knopfler all day. Any day.
We'll have an album of covers,
yeah,
don't we?
that would be cool.
So what's happening? Where are you? You got quite a few gigs lined up. You said you
do.
were quite busy when you came in the studio today.
Yeah, absolutely. I got one straight after this. So I'm rushing back off to Moraira to that experience here. That's from 8:30 tonight. And then tomorrow I've got a private party. So, and then Sunday I'm at Hilltop for Sunday lunch. So that's 2:30, which is quite nice. They've started doing their Sunday lunch again, so it's always busy. And if you fancy a roast, come on down.
Always, don't we, Cal? Always.
Don't tend to roast down. Les Leeds are playing, which they are this weekend.
Right.
So it's an early breakfast, the Manchester derby, and then Leeds Villa.
Roast for one, then.
Yeah, I'm afraid so. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
For my sins, we haven't played for about a month.
I'm a Bournemouth fan.
Oh no, we're not going there. Not going there. Anyway, next song.
Right, next one. So this is called Miniature Man. This one's a breakup song, and I enjoy playing it a lot, but I'm not sure she does. But there you go. And this one
Too
will
late now.
Hopefully be out at the end of the year. So I'm just saying in the break that I'm going off to England to record it soon. So yeah, this is the next one. Goes like this. Held a pretty picture round your neck inside a locket. But the picture frayed, the color fades, so you take it out and stick it in your pocket. Well, the speed of a gun, words fire from your tongue, got me down as I run. Now I'm walking wounded. Sure, the odds were long, round 3 billion to 1, but I gambled my heart, and now I just feel stupid. Now I just feel stupid. And 2 years of summer with a week of winter, we had a sea of sweetness, we found the bitter. I'll be on my way now, I won't be your miniature man. Drying out in the sunshine, it's bound to be much quicker. And though you trod on my toes, my blood it still flows. It's just a little thicker. I'm over 6 feet tall, ground 2 pieces small. We attended the ball, but the smiles had gone all toothless. Had only you on my plate, you were my favorite taste, but that went bad and now it's completely useless. Now it's completely useless. And 2 years of summer with a week of winter, we had a sea of sweetness, we found the bitter. I'll be on my way now, I won't be your miniature man. I won't be your miniature man. Be on my way now, I won't be your miniature. I'll be on my way now, I won't be your miniature man.
Joe Wilkinson on the Friday Feeling. It's great to have you back with us. You mentioned you were going to go into the studio to record that. So at the moment you've been recording at home and then sending the stuff off to be finalised and mastered. So
exactly.
How's it going to be different for you? Apart from the fact that you're going to see the pounds clicking as you're in the studio.
Well, it's, I'm working with a guy called Will Davies, who's another guy I should mention. He's a producer. He's Welsh, but he's based on the south coast in England. And funny story is, I did my first ever EP in a studio in Totton, which is near Southampton. And yeah, I was with a different producer. Years later, I was looking for someone new and this guy contacted me, Will, and it transpired that he's from the same studio in the same town.
Really?
Wow.
So there's a chance we'll do it there, but he's also got a studio on a farm. So that will be cool as well. He's got the setup over there. In terms of how it's different, I mean, when you're doing it yourself, if you want to obsess over one guitar part for 6 hours and get it exactly how you want it, you can. Obviously, in a studio setting, you probably don't have that amount of time.
Because it's costing you.
Yeah, so the idea is this time is to go in with a finished demo. So everything is recorded how I want it. And then it's a case of retracking it in the same style. It just kind of improves the efficiency of it. So you're not sitting around thinking, what do we need to do now? It's like bang, 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 bang.
So will you actually still probably end up playing some stuff in the studio to supplement
I'll
that?
play it all.
You will? Okay.
Yeah. Nothing will change in terms of... I'll still play all the instruments, and apart from the drums, I don't do the drums, which brings me to another guy who's doing the drums, is Joey Demers, who's from Canada. So we're doing it virtually at the moment. So
have you guys met at all?
We've not met. We just met online, actually through Will, the producer, and he basically... We send him the track without drums on, and a couple of hours later it comes back with the most amazing drum sounds, and Will mixes it in, and then it's ready, good to go. So hopefully in the future, when it comes to the touring, that he's already sort of signed up and said he'll be up for it to come and drum in the band and stuff. So
well, Cal's always available, you know. Did you know Cal's a drummer?
I didn't.
Yeah.
Somewhat out of practice. In fact, I didn't have a kit for the longest time, and I only just got one again recently.
I can cover bass if you want. I can steer the ship if you want to go on tour with Joe.
I thought you said you were going to play bass there.
I can play bass. Yeah. Actually, I think I'd more be bass than bass.
My mum wants to be bass.
Okay. So. Yeah, your mum would make a good bass.
And so, how many tracks are you going to do in the studio?
Well, we don't really know yet, because it depends on how long we've got in terms of... I think we can do one every 2 days, maybe two in 3 days.
And is it something you feel excited about? Do you
look
for? Yeah, it's a real treat going in the studio.
Yeah, that's the moment where you
working with other people. It's kind of because you bounce off other people rather than just there on your own. It makes a big difference.
It does. It can work both ways. I've been in situations where I've gone into a studio with a particular idea, and then I've been working with a producer who maybe has way more experience in a different genre, and then so they keep trying to throw in stuff that, and I've come out with a product which I think
sounds like theirs, not like yours.
Exactly. But that's what I love about working with Will. So far, like, it's basically him tweaking what's already there and tidying it up and he obviously has his own ideas too, but it's more like he's refining things rather than trying to change things, and which is important, because I think if a song doesn't have my sort of stamp on it, what I wanted to do with it, then I wouldn't want to put it out. So yeah.
And I guess that's all going to be on your social media, the making of the studio as day by day as it goes on.
You could have your own sort of get back, couldn't you?
Yeah,
get Glyn Johns on it. Yeah. Wow, what a treat that would be.
Yeah, we've got a lot of footage. So and obviously it's so nice to document it, like we documented the whole London trip, and there's a little clip of, it's only a minute long, but it shows the trip. So
again, that's important. People want to see the before, during, and after, don't they?
They
want the whole package,
Absolutely,
Yeah.
Certainly do want to see that. I've just lost me track of where I was going there with what I was going to say. Anyway,
that's because he's on his phone again, Joe.
No, because it started to go off, and I knew that we were about to start a song, and I didn't want it to be going off again while the song was going to start. No, tell us about your social media.
Okay, yeah. So I'm across everything really now. Which is,
how can people find you, Joe?
Well, it depends on their preference. Basically, I've got a YouTube, so I've got Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Spotify. Joe Wilkinson Music.
TikTok, are we doing any dancing? Or is it
no
purely
dancing?
No,
not yet.
You might venture into dance. Maybe get your mum to do the dancing.
Maybe I could get mum to do it. But yeah, it's all available. Joe Wilkinson Music, all one word. Apart from on Spotify, where you just search my name, and you'll find me.
What are your plays like on Spotify?
Yeah, they're going up. I mean, I've got one that's getting up to 10,000.
Yeah, wonderful.
Yeah, that's not bad.
It's a work in progress. It's never like. But what pleases me more than it is there's people listening every day now. Yeah. It's not like they
want to listen.
Yeah, they're not. They're not listening because I'm plugging it. They're listening because it's part of their. When you sort of become part of someone's daily routine, it's that's really, really special to me. So yeah, it's work in progress. We'll see what this one does. It's out in the playlist realm. All the playlists are reviewing it at the moment.
We've posted Joe on our Bay Radio in Spain Facebook page. We've tagged him in, so if you want to check him out on Facebook, head over there. Bay Radio in Spain, Joe Wilkinson Music. In Moira tonight.
In Moira tonight, yeah.
Private gigging tomorrow, and then
Hilltop
on Sunday.
Yeah.
Thanks for popping back
My
in,
pleasure.
Joe. What are you
Best
Thanks for
accompaniment to your roast on a Sunday.
what are you going to finish with?
I'm going to play my fourth single, which actually is kind of like quite a dancey track. Like, that's how it came
Mum, if you're
out.
listening,
Yeah.
she's waiting in the wings.
But this is how it was originally written, so this is sort of more stripped back, more acoustic-y. And it's called Inside.
Lovely to see you, Joe.
Thanks,
a lot.
Joe.
Thank you. Suddenly the path becomes more real. Head on the gas and my heart behind the steering wheel. Leaving tracks that I did not see before. When I think I want you, I wake and I want you 10 times more. Hold on tight, babe. Once I got you, I don't wanna let you go. No, it's quite strange. Eat off the moment, can't steal the show. I'm gonna show you what I feel like inside. I'm gonna show you what I feel like inside. I seek the high that lies inside my addiction to you. You own a piece of every thought before I can think it through. My best words outcome when I'm by your side, and when I'm not, the thought of you comes and hijacks my mind. Hold on tight, babe. Without you, I don't wanna let you go. Though it's quite strange. Eat off the moment, came and stole the show. I'm gonna show you what I feel like inside. I'm gonna show you what I feel like inside.
Thanks a lot, Joe.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy.